Hey, what's up? It's John Kizzy. You know who is he, aka Philly G, because they know who I be. And I'm here with my cousin Ray Ray.
What it do, people?
And we started a podcast. Today, DJ Laton, he's out, has some work obligations, and King Tigger has some personal obligations that came up. So we holding it down for him tonight.
Always salute to the team.
We have a lot of topics, so I'm going to jump right in.
Okay, where you starting off at?
I'm going to start off with Not Like Us being crowned most streamed song by Apple Music, not Spotify.
Yeah.
I mean, it did happen with Spotify too, but with Drake's legal issue, does this mean he got to go after Spotify? I mean, Apple also?
Yeah, I know. Like when he's the way that he's talking and the way that lawsuit type of filing is, where it's talking about like the allegations that are come up in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna accuse one, then the other you're not gonna accuse, and he still hits the highest on that one. What can you say?
And the thing is that like it's funny because of what they were saying. I looked into it myself because one of the things was them saying they were forcing Not Like Us on us and stuff.
Yeah.
But and this is a shame how our DJ isn't here. But even where our Spoo was here, they play it. They wouldn't be enforced on it. Yeah. The song is popular.
Oh,
people
absolutely.
do like the song, and the thing is that it's funny because the one thing that they said is true. If you type "Certified Lover Boy" into Spotify, the first song that comes up is "Certified Lover Boy" the album, and right under it is Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's what he's trying to say, that they were pushing it like that, but I don't believe the song is good. The song had its own legs, and it went with it. And the thing that's funny is that since Drake did his lawsuit, sales for Not Like Us has been up 440%. And streams went up 20%.
It's kind of the "don't look at me, but look at me" kind of thing, right?
Yeah, they said
you draw more attention on it.
They said it's the Streisand effect. Apparently, Barbra Streisand had this. Someone was going to publish a picture of her home, right?
Yeah.
And it was an obscure picture that like only one person had it. And she went in and she kept on trying to tell people, like she went to fight to get it to not be published.
Yeah.
Which actually caused interest in the picture. And then more people seen the picture because they're going to look at this like, what's wrong? She called attention to it. So it did the opposite of what she wanted. She didn't want no one to see it. Then she calls attention to it.
Yeah.
And more people have seen it, whereas if she just let it go. And this is what happened with this. If Drake, I mean, this song was already number one everywhere.
Yep.
But now even more people are listening to it to see what this is all about.
Well, and what it does is like you were saying when we were talking, like it kind of, the rap community is against that, against the idea of it. Whether people actually take the time to dissect and look at what he's accusing the record labels of doing. When you look at it on just the face value, it's a rapper suing another rapper over a diss track.
Yeah.
And that's never going to be okay in hip hop, right?
Never.
And it's being shown universally that people are not with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it goes to the record label stuff, like what I was trying to say before was around the record label stuff, if what he's accusing them of doing is found out, then basically that's them creating a buzz on it, right? Which I don't agree with. I don't agree with that when people have humongous budgets and they're being pushed by their record labels so much over the other artists. That's why we don't have certain artists hit the light of day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on a big scale like that, I can understand like where the anger and where they want to do something to the record labels for perpetuating this story, perpetuating this narrative, perpetuating this drama and this beef cycle, if it's unnaturally being picked up.
Mm-hmm.
If it's being picked up and understood by the audience as a diss track and a rap battle, which is what we're seeing essentially by the community coming out in 440% increase,
and that's when it already was number one since
the community.
Didn't it come out in May?
Yes, the community spoke,
and that's what the UMG, which is Universal Music Group, came back and said. Like they like the allegations are false and whatever, and what it all comes down to is people listen to the music that they want to listen to. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is that this whole thing it's brought up past tweets.
Yeah.
Like one from Nori, where he said he was once, he didn't name any names, but he said he got sued over diss tracks.
Yep.
But the most interesting one was the one posted by an old tweet from Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I saw that. And I actually remember when that happened.
Yeah. Where she said how Drake was being pushed by these record labels, where he showed up on the Best of British and Fresh Gospel.
Yeah.
And they said that his picture would show up even though he's not on the playlist.
But what that shows me, though, is that he might be onto something with this lawsuit, because he clearly knows how the tactics work in this game, because they did it for him.
And that's where,
you know what I mean?
That's where it's like,
I remember that happening when Scorpion came out. When that album came out, his face was on everything. It was almost like a running joke. Kind of thing, like, oh, Drake's on the Spanish cover for all the new Spanish songs coming out. He's on the cover for this, like, you know what I mean? It was more of like almost like a jokey thing, just like to put his image out there so much more. And when you look at it on a base level, that's manipulating the stats.
And that's where his claim to me is like, he loses credit on two levels now.
Yeah.
One, on the hip hop level for suing over a diss track. And two, on the business level for complaining about something that you took advantage of for probably how many years? 10 years. Yeah. That'd be like Tom Brady, where he was known for deflating balls. Ooh. Right? Now, I'm not saying he did it.
Is that fully proven?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he did it. It'd be like him doing it, right?
Yeah.
And then the other team does it. And he's like, no, we can't have none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's like that. Like, if you're cheating and then somebody else does it, because in actuality, if you're taking advantage of that and then somebody else does it, that's just leveling the playing field. It shouldn't even be called cheating anymore. That's like when I play video games where some people will cheat, right? I always said that there should be a whole section where you just turn cheats on and let everyone cheat, because then it's everyone's on the same playing field.
Man, when I used to play video games, the guys that used to really bug me, and I'm talking to you, Beanie guys, the guys that used to bug me were the ones who used to sit in the corner. They just sit in the corner, and they would shoot you from afar. They do other things. They just sit in the corner the whole time.
You think that's bad? Guess what these cheaters did? And I seen a video of some of them. Yeah. Some of them tried it in competitions where thousands and $100,000 was on like the line, and that's how they got booted, right? But they have cheats where not only are they sitting in the corner, you're lit up on the map no matter where you are. Oh, they can see you through buildings. Like you're the whole enemy team. They can see it. Like you'll see how far you could be way down there hiding. They'll see. That's why you'll see sometimes when a cheater comes up, you're hiding somewhere, and they'll just come around and look right at you and shoot you. How? It's because they can see you moving. Those are the type of cheats that drive me crazy in video games. It's but
going back to that other part though, the interesting part there in that whole Nicki Minaj story, and if you haven't looked into the story of Nicki Minaj bringing up the old tweets about her talking about Drake doing it, look into what she actually says there. Because she says that Spotify had to make her pay for releasing her music, like it was like 2 days earlier.
Yeah, because she had her own
they had to discipline her basically.
She had her own platform, and she debuted the money on there. It's not the money, the songs on there, and they got mad.
Yeah,
and disciplined her.
Lesson. That was her exact word. They got to teach her a lesson.
Yeah. So
that's wild to think about that. Somebody who's supposed to have
non-biased,
not inflated stream, not non-biased platform for music to come out, and then that's what you're telling an artist at that caliber. Something wrong with that story. I'm hoping something's wrong with that story, and hoping that it was some type of misunderstanding, because that's weird business practices.
Yeah, and the thing is that like like I said, Drake took advantage of it. Now when somebody else is playing his own game, and the funny thing is this whole Drake, man, I'm a Drake fan, but I gotta be unbiased here. This whole Drake Kendrick beef has been Kendrick beating Drake at his own game. Like all the moves that he made were moves that Drake would usually do. Yeah. Like in a battle, you wouldn't expect if there's a battle between Kendrick and Drake, you wouldn't expect Kendrick to be the one that had the bop.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
No,
You
right.
wouldn't expect him to be the one that made sure nobody had any copyright strikes so that his could go all over the internet.
Yeah.
Like internet, that's Drake's bag.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're right. He definitely is watching who he's playing with and playing with them in the way that they play with others, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like if people, that's why if anyone said, and I could argue it, but I wouldn't be mad, and I'd let them. I'd be like, your opinion is your opinion. I wouldn't be mad at it. If someone said that Kendrick was the greatest of all time, I could see it. He's at a point where he's earned it, man. If you check off all the boxes in hip hop, like say you had requirements to go up, he's checking off every field. Now he's battle tested. Yeah. You know, he was already cipher tested. He did that. He with the Black Panther soundtrack, he showed that he can make music to cross over. Yeah. You know, he can make music, underground hip hop music. Like he done everything hip hop. So he and his music is inspirational.
I got one to put it, and this ain't even my personal one, but I heard a compelling case today when I was reading through some articles. Mm-hmm. What about LL, cuz?
Oh, I was going to get to LL.
I think we bringing up the greatest. We bringing up the greatest. But LL in that conversation.
And that's why I said what I said, because even LL said, he's like, on records, I say I'm the greatest of all time, but am I the greatest of all time? He said that's subjectable. That's why he wouldn't say that. He did say something, and after this is what I'm going to start saying, he is the most important MC of all time. He started almost everything. When he was breaking down everything that he was talking about, I was like, oh, yeah, first to do this, first to do that, first to listen to the game. Def Jam from him. Yeah. Lady songs for the women, the love songs, him. Rocking the gold chains and all that, him. The bad boy image and whatever, him. That was a battling, bro. Like, he's like the architect, archetype of hip hop. Fashion brands in. Like, yeah. Like, who had a clothing line before? They wouldn't, like, you know how much stuff that is in hip hop that wouldn't exist without LL Cool J? Yeah. Even crossing over and doing TV shows and then doing movies. Yeah. Like, LL is like, even if you don't like his songs, don't like his music, you could look at his career and he should be someone that inspires you and shows you a path that you could take. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I was highly surprised at how much I agreed with the points that he was making. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? When I seen it, I was like, oh, I got to see what this guy's going to say. And he even said straight up, he's like, for the GOAT, he's like, yeah, I think I'm the GOAT. But if someone else says someone else is a GOAT, I got to get that to him because it's, it's subjective. Like, Tupac's music might have hit you and changed your life away to someone, so he'd be the greatest to use. Same with Biggie, same with Nas, same with did he mention Jay-Z? I don't know. I know he mentioned Pac, Nas, and Biggie. But either way, he's basically saying that somebody can relate to and hit you harder. Yeah. That's like with me, like that's DMX is probably one of the ones that I always relate to and hit me the hardest, right? Yeah. So yeah, man. Much respect to Frank. Speaking of GOAT, he's the one that coined that phrase GOAT. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. Like he transitioned into TV when there was only who else was doing it at the time he did it? Ice-T? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who did it first. You know what I mean? I know Ice-T did he has the longest stint because he was on friggin' Law and Order for like ever. But yeah, L did movies. He did everything, man. Yeah. Like Will Smith. Oh, sorry. Like Will Smith did that stuff, but LL did all that and still made music. Yeah. So yeah, we could take that away from Will and Ice-T. Yeah. LL did that and still put out on a consecutive, consistent pace. Not even the same pot, right? Right. Yeah. So yeah, because you're that's right, man. Because I was in my mind when you mentioned Ice-T, I was trying to debate who did it, but then again, LL did it while still being a rapper and still putting out hits. Yeah. But that's a good definition, like you said. He's the most important. Yeah. To hip hop culture, I can definitely rock with that. As for the greatest of all time, has Kendrick reached that point yet?
I'm not 100% sure. When you're looking at the numbers factor, like if you look at the numbers factor, it would be him and Drake. For numbers wise, of all the different accomplishments and accolades that Kendrick's now getting to, because Kendrick's kind of starting to surpass Drake in certain arenas, right? Those for the numbers and stuff like that, for the impact of certain songs that they've had, they got that.
The reason why
impact overall of like almost like where they still had that importance to the culture as well. I don't know if they're there yet. Either one of them.
I think that here's why I think that they both could be. It's based off of what LL said, where how that music have changed your life.
Yeah.
I think both of those artists, Drake and Kendrick, have done enough that they've inspired a generation of people and changed their life. Like there's somebody out there who Kendrick means to them as much as Pac meant to you.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think they've reached that level. So I could, like I said, if anyone said either of them were a GOAT, I'd tip my hat to them. I would expect that.
Yeah.
Like if you want to talk about lyricism, breakdown, rapping, and this and that, then it's more of a debate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that both Kendrick and Drake can be considered GOAT status.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Just because of their accomplishments. Like Drake, 15 years straight, cuz.
Yeah. It's hard to think about it, like thinking about that it's been that long.
Yeah, 15 years straight.
Running like,
That ain't that's crazy. And on the other flip side, Kendrick, he got a Pulitzer. Mm-hmm. Is it Pulitzer or Pulitzer?
Yeah, Pulitzer.
All right. He got, like, that's crazy. That's an accomplishment. Yeah. Like, they got accomplished. Both of them are, here's where I see somebody could be GOAT status, where you could retire and say you've done enough for hip hop. And people could be like, yeah, you did. Like with Drake, before the beef, if he had retired he went out like at the top of his game. Yeah. It's like, what else would he have to prove? Neither of them have anything else to prove. Only thing they had to do was they were proving to themselves, which one of them is better. And public opinion shows who is.
Can we not exist in a world where both of them are fruitful and producing music and things like that everybody likes? Like,
and don't put out lawsuits.
And no lawsuits. Like, come on, guys. Man. Like, really, like they're not really the same artist.
Yeah, man. Do you know how much I was actually hoping that Drake had something in the cut? He's going to come back and just spit some fire to go up against Kendrick and either ignite it, or Kendrick would be like, I said all I could say, and then it would end like that. But after this, because
he has no choice but to come.
But he's lost so much respect now. Yeah. I don't even know what he can do.
Well, the thing about it is the lawsuit is a ballsy play if it's fake.
Well, he got dates now. There's dates.
Yeah, dates attached to what he's talking about?
Yeah, dates for two. In Texas, he is going against iHeart Radio and UMG, saying that they did payola. And that's on the 20th. Did I say Texas? I said Texas, right? Yeah, that's the one in Texas, December 20th. That's going to be heard by a judge. And on January 16th in New York, it's the one against Spotify and UMG, saying that he used spots and payola. Bots and payola and other stuff to inflate the thing. But see, payola to me is something that's hard to prove. And I believe that every artist that made it, that's up there, has done it to some degree in some form or fashion. Like even saying, like, I'll come give you an exclusive interview if you play my shit more. That's still payola. Because you're leveraging them playing your music more. You're not paying, maybe you're not giving them money, but you're giving them something that's actually in today's day and age worth more than money, exposure.
But that's in the sense. But if we're breaking that down to the fundamentals of it, that's how all record labels function, right? It was that person in the record label that had an exclusive relationship with the DJs and the different radio stations that when they came to them was like, hey, this record, play this record.
Yeah, it
was accepted. That's what, you know what I mean? It was shown, like in certain biographies, you're seeing that people who were newcomers couldn't get that spin without putting money off to the DJ and be like, hey,
yeah,
play my stuff, because I'm not with a record label that you already have a connection with, and your radio station has a connection with, and we do promotional business together, right? So it's always that one hand washes the other.
That's why I always thought payola is like one of the things they say is illegal, but everyone knows everyone does it.
Yeah.
Like how else?
But that might be his path to redemption on that lawsuit factor because with the lawsuit and with the persona that Drake already has, and with the way that people feel that he's certified lover boy, that kind of thing, and that whole persona that makes that individual seem soft in certain areas, this adds to that kettle. But if he's right, it makes him look like a smart businessman and caught up and noticed that these were unnatural spins in the first place. Yeah, after the song gets caught in your head, then after everything after that can be natural. Mm-hmm. But if I hear a song 30 times, whether I like it or not, it's going to be in my head. What happens when I do like it? Yeah, and then I'm going to promote it, right?
It's going to be an interesting case to watch. I don't think he's. I can't see him winning just for the path, because before it was even on Spotify, it was already everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, because he's not suing YouTube, and remember that's the first time I heard it.
Yeah, but if you go check the views on YouTube and stuff, they're up there now. But like at the time, they weren't up there. Even if for Kendrick Lamar's album right now, the view count is not crazy
on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not as crazy as you think it would be.
I thought it was crazy for Not Like Us.
Not Like Us, it is, yeah, because you got to think about that. It's been played after so long, and then they included.
I mean, it was crazy stuff when it first came out. Like that one went hot.
It didn't go as high as you think it would for how much you were hearing it everywhere.
I think we talked about it, and I can't remember what the numbers were.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit that one.
Yeah. But we'll see, man. Because like, if it is true, but then where do you go from there?
Yeah.
What if they say, like, because it's not I forget what it's called, the legal term, but basically the motion he's putting is so that you can subpoena and get the information from people, exactly. The documents.
Yeah, it's not actually the lawsuit; it's the pre lawsuit.
So kind of thing. So what do you do in this situation? Like, what if you gave him saying that, well, so's was yours, all your stuff too.
What if he gets the information and chooses not to file a lawsuit and just makes the information public? What then?
And the thing with him, I bet you.
What then?
He would just make.
Like, I had no plans on suing you. I just wanted to get the legal documents that says that your record label was doing these actions to promote your music. I'm not going to sue you. I just want to put it out to the public. And again, he's not suing Kendrick. Mm-hmm. Just we want to get that get out the way. But the thing is, he's suing his own label. Yeah.
Sorry, it's not suing yet. It's a motion. It could lead to the sue. I don't know, man. It's interesting how that's a tough conversation with your own label. Like, especially what happens if your label's like, dude, you knew we were doing this because we did it for you. I want to know what happens if that is the information that comes out. That UMG does it with all their artists. Then what? Then is Drake shooting himself in the foot?
Well, is he shooting himself in the foot already? What kind of deal does he have with this record label? Can they stop his music from coming out?
I'm sure that Spotify and them guys aren't going to be happy with him after this.
Yeah, no, but his actual if he's suing if he's putting a pre-lawsuit on his actual label.
Yeah, like not even just his label.
Can they block his music from future release?
And not even just his label. Remember, Spotify and iHeart Radio. Mm-hmm. iHeart Radio is like a group that almost Canada record radio stations are on that, and the United States. Like,
yeah, they're a big player in the radio media game.
Like you got to think. To a point, is this lose-lose? Mm. If they find nothing, then those guys are going to be sour on Drake.
Yeah.
If they expose him, if Drake exposes them, then they're still sour on Drake. You know what I mean? Mm. That's why it's a funny move. And like, it's crazy, man. Because if I doubt if it comes out that Kendrick was, they're not going to be, they wouldn't show that Drake is too and everyone else. Yeah. They put all the cards on the table and be like, well, here, this is what we do as a group. They're not going to be like, we did it just for Kendrick. I don't believe for a minute that if anything happens and it is true that it was just for Kendrick.
Yeah. Oh no, I definitely don't feel like that. But will it only be released information about Kendrick's? Probably, because again, if that could open themselves up to other legal ramifications from other artists and other things like that, right?
Interesting.
Because you got to realize, like, if someone was to get hurt over all this stuff from either camps, this is the record labels perpetuating this drama, just like how it did in the 90s, right? With the media pushing the beef, East Coast, West Coast beef.
But check this out. This is I just thought of this, a reason why they wouldn't say it was just for Kendrick. Because then you have a chance of getting lawsuits from every other artist on your label. If you say that you did it for everyone equally, then they can't, like, then where do they go?
Yeah.
That kind of seems like the only way that they could save themselves.
But it ruins the credibility of every artist underneath that record label if you expose it.
I know, man. That's why I'm saying almost from every angle, this is just, it's a loss. Yeah. From every angle.
But Drake has a win in there. If he does not pursue a lawsuit, but just gets the information and makes it public, and it's in his favor, that's a big win for him there.
I wonder if he's allowed to do that though.
And would it be protected by anything?
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I wonder. And
that's an interesting question. Would the information be protected under court law or anything like that?
But then again, that brings it back to what would happen if they did it. If Drake did that and said, "Look what they did for Kendrick," then the other artists on the label would be pissed, and maybe then they got lost and they want more documentation to see if it was done for, like, maybe there's two other artists there. Like, yo, well, what about? Like, I don't know the artists on the label, but you know what I mean?
Because it starts a slippery slope. You got to start looking at it. It's
like,
we're two artists on the same label. We have competing release dates.
Mm-hmm.
Did they pump yours more than they didn't, and then they held back on mine? It's a slippery slope if it gets exposed.
And then you have every artist on your label filing, getting. Yeah, this is.
It can go real messy for the record labels if it's correct.
Man,
if it's just Drake trying to pull a last string and look like he's not happy with things, and just then it's a real bad for him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Man, I don't know. Most industry insiders are saying that this is a bad move on Drake. Yeah, but time will tell.
Oh yeah, right now it's being viewed as a horrible mistake. Time
will tell, and unfortunately, throughout the beef, Drake has made some bad moves. So hopefully that he knows more about this than us.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's something. Hopefully there's something, man. I want to see the Canadian boy win.
Now, there was something interesting about that. Now, I might be wrong in this, but wasn't there something about the Meet the Grams wasn't included in it?
Yeah.
And that was only released on YouTube, if I'm correct, wasn't it?
No.
That was the one about the kids, right?
Yeah, I think Meet the Grams is on Spotify.
Okay.
There 6 a.m. or something like that in LA. That one is only on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where another conspiracy is coming up. Why wasn't that song in this defamation? Is he trying to say that? Wouldn't that be logically someone say, well, you can't say that's defamation if the information's true?
Yeah.
So, you got a daughter out there? Because, yeah. Even Euphoria had some, well, I guess it wasn't as bad, but yeah. I think it's just, see, now you got me thinking. It's looking more like jealousy on Drake's part. Only the song that took over and is just everywhere and has people, he probably walks through the shop mall and someone's like A minor pointing at him, right? So that's probably why. And like Pusha T said, he said Kendrick, like, he hurt him in his soul. He didn't just like.
He said fighting words.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like, and I think that's I love the song.
Yeah,
and I love the entertainment with the battle and everything. But I just feel like the whole pedophile stuff. That Kendrick's such a good lyricist. I felt he could have did something different with that. Now that being said, that's the ultimate thing in the streets that you can say to somebody, right or wrong. Someone calls you that. What's happening at that point?
I can't. I don't know what's worse.
There's either like snitch, pedophile. Pedophile's definitely worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're like that's as far as you can go with, like down that hole. That's something that you cannot be comfortable in any environment you're in if you have partaken in that, right?
Mm-hmm. But in the game of hip hop, while they were doing it, his response was supposed to be something harder.
Mm. And it's also that one that once somebody says it and it's out in the public, you'll never live that down.
That's the fucking thing about rap music or hip hop and lyrics, ain't it? Because like there's so many things. Someone could say something about anyone in the song, and all of a sudden it's true.
It's literally like hip hop is a strange organism.
It's like, yeah, no one looked at Ja Rule the same since 50 was saying all this stuff. Remember his hairdresser he's supposed to. Everyone was convinced, and this is before there was social media. Mm-hmm. We had no proof, but we were all convinced that he was in a relationship with his hairdresser.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait a minute, he shaves his head. Why did he even have a hairdresser? Oh, that's why. I see. Yeah. And like, it was crazy. Remember when they used to even, at some points, have like fake protection orders that they would show off?
Yeah. Yeah. There used to be fake protection orders on Boat 50 and all that stuff. And I know that there was one that he never signed off on it because I looked into it because I was real big into that. He never signed off on it, but it was one of those things. He got stabbed in an incident that happened in a record studio. And it's like, it's not he saying it. It's like the cops came, seen what happened. And they're like, he got to stay away from this party. That party got to stay away from him kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. But
that almost ruined it. That was the they were trying to use that as a nail in the coffin to 50, but weren't able to make it happen.
Yeah, well, it was Ja Rule, man. Even though he was trying to nail in the coffin, he was on the ground trying to nail up because he took an L.
Remember that record label went down. It went down when they came for Supreme, though.
Yeah, you know what? Not today. I just wanted this to be a little preview, but I want to talk about on maybe next episode. If we're not too entrenched in Snoop. But I want to talk about rappers that didn't blow up as big as they should have. Because when I put that in the chat to you guys and I started thinking about people, and you know what came to my mind? Vita.
Yeah, Vita.
But that with his label going down, that probably went to another person was Memphis Bleak, man. He should have it's like there's a lot of rappers where to us on the outside. So I don't want any rapper to ever hear this and think I'm dissing them by saying this. But it looks like they dropped the ball. Like they were handed it. Like Drag On. Right, DMX was top. That was your boy. You're next up.
Drag On still out here spitting hot fire.
And he's crazy.
Flames.
He should be the one. We should be talking about him, but he doesn't have the thing behind him.
Push. Yeah, they don't give him the
like remember like Murphy Lee from St. Anyways, I don't want to start laying them list them off. Yeah, I know. I got a list right here, guys. But that's going to be for a different episode. Coming up, we're going to be talking about we're going to have a top 5, and we're going to do it differently. I'll tell King Tigger and DJ Laton later, but I want us all to come together with lists, and we're going to talk about them. And I want us to name our top 5, and I don't mean you name your top 5, me name mine. I mean we'll talk about them all and come together and try and make a top 5. Gotcha. And see what we come up with.
Honorable mention to put in the pot. Names to throw in the hot.
Yeah. Yeah. See if we can agree how hard it would get to 4 people to agree on the top 5 rappers that should have blown up. Because there's a lot, man.
Oh yeah.
They get that thing Mims. Anyways, I don't want to get into it because I can name off guys forever that had skills and had look.
Yeah.
The look is hard to get. Like Drag On had the image too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I digress. Back to these legal shit. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Time will tell.
Yeah. There could be some very interesting conversations coming in the future around what this legal battle means for the industry.
And okay, just so that we don't end it on legal stuff, let's get all the legal stuff out of the way. Let's get to Jay-Z now.
Oof.
Or
They said it was coming.
We have to, and the funny thing is that after Jay-Z, I want to talk about King Combs. His son got a sexual assault. But so we got two more people. Let's do King Combs because this is going to be quick.
Oh yeah, I heard about this one a while ago. Before it was while Diddy was still out, and they were trying to look at it. It was on the yacht, right? It was It was like a waitress,
and that's
or
like
a stewardess or whatever.
Yeah, like first when I heard about the party, I was kind of thrown off, right? Like because a hedonistic type party basically is like an orgy, and it's weird when you see that someone claims sexual assault at an orgy. I was like, I thought that's what everyone's going there for. But then when I heard it was one of the people that worked at the yacht, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Then my mind went back to, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? If you call a bunch of girls over that are down to do everything and whatever, have party and stuff, why are you trying to go against one of the people that ain't there for that? Like, it's these guys always pushing these boundaries.
It's the...
trying to get what he can.
I can have everything. Because my dad's Sean Combs and I'm mini Sean Combs. This is all mine. It's that kind of mentality that I feel led to that.
The entitlement.
Like you said, it doesn't make any sense.
If
you already have everything there at your disposal and everything that you're already trying to do, why are you jeopardizing your money, your resources, your rental, which has all of your guys' information and name on it, to someone who's there just trying to earn a paycheck? They didn't come here for any of this. They're not there for any of that. You're scaring another individual. Like, they're coming after you.
It makes no sense. I've been backstage enough times. I've been around enough these artists and even been on stage as artists before. But, excuse me, I've been enough after parties to know that there's always people that are willing to party. So why these guys have to go after the two? You got 50 people willing. Why are you going after the two that ain't? It seems to be these. Oh man. Oh, hope she gets her justice because especially she's just working her job. Like, leave her alone.
And the thing that's real difficult about it, I guess, with the justice of it is, will this get overshadowed by what's going on with Combs? You know what I mean? How much airtime, how much court time is going to be taken up with this particular case? You know what I mean? How much is she actually going to be even able to go after him for legal justice or anything like that?
You know, it might even have more shine on it because of Combs. I wouldn't be surprised if they tied it back and it was Combs, Puffy's money that paid for everything that was going on.
Yeah.
So he's liable. Like, if you rent a hotel room in your name, even if you're doing it for a party for your son, and him and his friends go buck wild in there, they get in trouble for going buck wild. But you're on the hook because you're liable because you're responsible for everything that happened.
Is it still going to be considered Puff Daddy's son going through this, or is this now going to be lumped into this is Puff Daddy's doing? You know what I mean? Rather than
I hear you
letting her face justice against the person who actually did the
action. I hear you.
Not supplied the resources. They're both guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But is his day in court gonna get overshadowed with connecting it with Diddy?
I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
And him just being a part of it.
Because for justice for her, it would be the person that did the assault going down. We'll see.
Yeah.
Man, I don't understand famous people on this shit.
Yeah, it's a weird world out here, folks.
It is, man. Like this, all like people. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. Chasing someone that don't want me is not something that I would be interested in.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It makes I can't even find the words because it just doesn't compute. I just don't understand, man. Yeah. So to Jay-Z, the accusations a lawyer brought through, and it's an unnamed victim. Was apparently 13 years old at an MTV party and was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z and Puff Daddy.
Now, it's some real heinous stuff. If this is the truth, they're gonna have a long way to go to fight it. I'm hearing that there's already speculation on all sides, but I just have to just call out. Are we not just gonna keep listening? Are we gonna listen to Jaguar right from now on? She's been saying all this stuff for years, and now it's all just seeming to be coming up. I know she says some offhanded stuff sometimes, but like she's been saying some stuff that's been dead on, like for years.
You ever think that maybe that's why some people looked into it, and that's how it's coming out, because they seen where she was, and what, how she knows what's going on there, so they looked into it, and then they were able to connect the dots.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z replied.
Yeah.
He said it ain't true. He's like, putting these allegations is disgusting, and I gotta sit down with my kids and talk to them because they're probably going to hear about it in school and stuff. He's like, if you got a case to go against it, he said, you should want justice just like anything else, not money. Take it to court and charge me so I can fight it in court. But to try and get money out of me, it ain't going, because that's what they're trying to get, money, which is extortion.
Yeah. And I would say, but it's also some of the first steps to justice in that fashion. Because if we look at the history of things, R. Kelly was sued before it turned into legal actions. You know what I mean? If you look at it as well, Diddy was threatened with a lawsuit. He avoided the lawsuit, paid up, and then it started all of this to open up. You know what I mean? So we got to look at the patterns that are happening in society when they do those kind of things, right? When they challenge it for money. And I understand, and I'm with the if you feel that way, bring it to court. You know what I mean? And do it that way. But if they do it that way, they might not be able to go for money if they already look at putting them in jail.
Sometimes, but remember, sometimes they go to civil court after they lose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then they can.
But if they're intending on winning and then they're intending to he goes to jail, that takes away from his personal resource. Yeah, that means you can still get money out of his family, out of his estate. That's taking it out of his, that's not taking it directly from him. That's taking it from the estate. He's already in custody, right? So there could be some of that type of stuff going on. Also, the one thing that kind of bugged me a little bit wrong about it was that he was calling for the name of the person to be released.
Yeah.
Well, up here in Canada, the crime happened when that person would have been a minor. That name is always protected under the law.
I wonder, is that the same?
I don't know if it's the same in the United States, but if that was something that happened in Canada, that person's name would be protected under the Constitution.
I don't know how that is in the States.
You know what I mean?
Because in the States, you usually always see a name.
Yeah.
That is, but I guess that is one way to go against it. One way to look at it. That is kind of, calling out the name, basically. My main thing that I say is that he circumvent what he's, like the point he's making is that no, and you ain't getting money from me, so you can did that. So take me to court and we'll go there. Yeah. And that's a risky move for a public figure, because that means it's staying in the public for longer, right?
Yeah, because it's very risky. You know what I mean? Because I think he has the only options that he has is to fight. Right? He can't pay anybody off to make it go away. Even if it wasn't true and he just wanted it to go away because there's too much attention on one of his friends right now, it wouldn't be a smart move. It would look horrible. You know what I mean? He has no other choice but to fight it right at this moment. But what looks very bad when you look at patterns and groups of friends, you were very close with R. Kelly. R. Kelly went through this. You were very close to Diddy. Diddy went through this.
Well, wait. Don't say don't say he was very close to R. Kelly. Remember, that was more of a business thing. They weren't friends, because even when they started performing together, he was like, R. Kelly's a weirdo. I don't like this guy. Remember, I think they had to shut down some shows because R. Kelly.
Yeah, R. Kelly stopped. Didn't want to do it.
Yeah, because he didn't like performing in front of like the hip hop crowd. I guess he wasn't that comfortable. He like more because R. Kelly used to sing in ladies, looking out in the crowd, seeing mostly girls and whatever.
Yeah.
It's just he's felt intimidated. The one time he said he seen a gun and left stage and stuff. He was just being weird. Yeah. So I don't know how much of a friendship is there, and that's one thing when you watch podcasts that are from artists and famous people, you find out that there's a lot of stuff that isn't real friendships that we think of friendships are just business things.
Yeah.
Like apparently even Young Thug told Gunna stop acting like we're friends.
Well, it was a business relationship. They weren't like cool beforehand, as far as I knew. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone gonna fry me in the comments. But as far as I knew, that was a.
Well, he signed him.
He signed him, and he was bringing him up, not as in like you're my friend, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity in the music career and try to help mold your career. It wasn't like that. He found a talent and brought him over, and was like, I can do something with your talent.
Yeah, like I just look at a lot of the musical things. And a lot of them, you see that they're just business. Like Redman and Method Man, they're friends.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
They're hanging and stuff.
Absolutely.
But Future,
married couple, they act like.
Yeah, but Future and Drake, even though they did projects together, they seem like after that was done, it's not like, yo, it's Thanksgiving, you're coming over, or nothing like that. Yo, what you doing Friday or whatever. Yeah. It seemed like they would do stuff that was like, oh, I'll see you at the awards or something, somewhere public, so you can see them together and stuff like that. Because a lot of it's not like back in the days, like with like rap groups, where you had people that grew up together and stuff. Yeah. These are people that are like, yo, I like your music. Yeah, I like your music. We should do something together. Man, then they do it. Even if they work together in the studio and they kind of hit it off and stuff, the most you'll probably have to do is maybe message them, DM them from time to time. Yeah. Like, I guess that's the difference between industry friends and like friends. Like, some of them might actually talk, get advice, and build a rapport like that. When you see them, you embrace, you really feel them and stuff. But a lot of them are just business. Yeah. But I just wanted to give Jay-Z some bail on the R. Kelly thing. I from all things I've seen, they weren't as close as they seemed, or else there would have been a part 3. They thought. To me, you got to think it was brilliant. That was the top singer at the time.
Don't seem like a good song to be playing right now.
Yeah,
just
man.
Saying.
Yeah. And you see how Jay-Z like got the hell away from Diddy when any smoke was going there.
Yeah, he did. He distanced himself.
That's why I think.
Fast,
that's why I think to a point that Jay-Z probably didn't know what R. Kelly was doing, or he would have got the fuck out of there, or got him the fuck out of there.
Man, I don't know, but it maybe like all this media speculation, AI stories, and AI generated news things that are helping leading to some of this as well, while they're trying to investigate it, and people are coming up to woodworks. Because I know you can even go on the line, you can hear a conversation with Diddy talking to his sons over the phone, talking about did you dispose of the pizza boxes and all this stuff, and ask about Jay-Z and stuff, and
that's what
you don't know me and stuff. And
speaking of AI, I seen this picture with they had like it was Putin, it had Hillary Clinton, I think Joe Biden, Donald Trump in it. It was like a music video. It had them rap. It looked like it was them.
Oh yeah.
You know what that got me thinking, cuz? You can have Mike Tyson fight anybody now. 20-year-old Mike Tyson in AI.
Yeah, you can do some wild stuff, and there's a humongous debate on that within society of how far is too far, especially when we're looking at like manipulating our art, manipulating our videos. That you can also make certain whole things like whole videos now, AI generated images and movies and things like that. Like how far is too far before that stuff takes over the industry and we lose access to those opportunities for human involvement in it.
See, right? Some things that I think that we'll always be able to outthink AI on, but there's some things where I think would be cool. Like, you ever watch back in the day The Deadliest Warrior? Mm-hmm. Imagine now, you know how they would take all the data and stuff and see who would fight? Imagine if they made an AI so you actually seen the fight. Yeah. That'd be freaking crazy. Yeah. If you guys do that, I want a cut. You got that idea from me. Because that'd be crazy because what AI, you have to give it the information and then it generates it. And that's exactly what they did. Yeah. They said this weapon, they did all this research to see who would win. So instead of man, it'd be tight. Yeah. Even do that with like Tyson versus this guy. Take all their stats, take his reach and stuff. Yeah. So study how he fights and whatever. Study how the other guy, how he react to something, and then let fans watch it.
Yeah.
Man.
It definitely would be dope. It would be a lot better than what it was before.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali
created fake fight scene. Like, you know, I mean, if you had the AI looking at exactly how all those methods attack, how the terrain's working, all that, you could put so much data and information into that. And it would make it really cool. What are the jobs that we're losing doing that, though?
In that?
And that's where my mind goes with it all the time.
In my mind, it's basically for fighting and stuff that it wouldn't really be like for boxing. Yes, there's real boxers, but I meant it would be for boxers that can't box anymore. Yeah. Like I'd like to see Ali fight Tyson.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And the Deadliest Warrior. It wouldn't be real feet stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that. I think could be fine because I don't see how it's taking it away from somebody because it's something that can't even exist.
Yeah,
the only way it could exist is if instead of AI generating it, you use all the stats and maybe AI would tell you what the winner is, and then get two actors to play it out.
Yeah,
that's.
Well, they kind of did something like that with the simulations and with Deadliest Warrior, where they had actors kind of acting out the fight scenes, right?
Yep.
So they kind of did it on that level.
The only difference,
so it's kind of been done a little bit. You know what I mean?
The difference between AI and when they're not real and stuff, you
don't see it.
You see more stuff.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's definitely an area that is expanding beyond, I think, what all of us are actually envisioning it going to be. Like in the next 5 years, what is this technology going to be like?
As long as they keep it along the lines of to help us, not replace.
Yeah,
I think it's fine. They just got to keep that in mind. But the problem with it is that, excuse me, like music. I think the problem would be is AI can't really innovate. So it's going to probably be like how we make fun of like mumble rappers and the auto-tune, how all that music sounds the same. If AI did it, it probably would all sound the same.
I've heard some. I've heard some and it doesn't.
Really?
Yeah. Because I got a guy, King George. Shout out to King George. He does it at work. Sometimes. He'll make AI generated songs, and they got a little bit of sound. They got a little bit of sound to them, and I'm like,
see, the ones I heard, it seemed like it was manufactured.
Yeah.
It seemed, actually, I guess it seemed, what's the word that people use? Overproduced.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there.
You know what I mean? It's like, you ain't got to do all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, there's something in the sound that was just a little too much, especially because hip hop needs that grime. Yeah. You need that little bit of street.
Absolutely.
And AI, I don't know if AI can do that yet.
No.
Because AI would probably be wanting to polish it, right?
Yeah. Wasn't there an AI generated rapper like a year or two ago?
Yeah, and then they found out it was generated by, I think it was generated by a white dude, but the AI guy was saying the N-word all the time, so he got shut down quick. Yeah, that didn't.
But like, what would have happened if he didn't do that?
What would have happened if he was the black guy? And
would it have just continued on?
I don't know.
Would this still be a thing?
I don't know, man.
Would it be topping the charts right now with AI generated music taking? Because when you think about AI generated music, I think when I think about it, I go back to you ever see the show Empire?
No.
Well, at one point there's one scene where like one of the record exec, he goes off of data and analytics, right? Mm-hmm. So at one point they come over and they give one of their artists a sheet of like keywords, key phrases to bring up in their song, because these are the key phrases and messages and stuff that have been going into the top 100 songs that are on the playlist and stuff. So if you talk about this kind of stuff in your music, you're bound to get plays. You know what I mean? So even that kind of algorithm kind of manipulation into the music industry is already kind of happening, right? When I looked at it like that, I was like, if they're talking about in the show, this has probably already happened on a greater scale within the music industry somewhere.
And that's why I was saying, the music, they can't really innovate. So I guess now I could say that they could probably make pop music. They can make music that the masses would like and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if they could do a Kendrick Lamar song that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? Because just the way he emphasizes stuff makes you feel certain ways and stuff. Like even when they did the AI Pac, when Kendrick, I'm not Kendrick, sorry, when Drake did that, even though he was sounding like him and trying to, he didn't have any of that fire, any of that soul in his voice.
Yep.
It's like it sounded like
you could tell it wasn't.
It sounded like Pac was at gunpoint, told to rap. There was no, it didn't have the emotion and stuff like that. So for people that like music like that, I think it's hard for AI to ever get that. Because remember, AI can't feel the emotion. So they can't properly convey it.
No.
They can only convey what they think it will be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But can they convey what you feel if you explain it to them?
That's the next step.
You know
probably.
what I mean? It's gets it because if there always is a human component to it, that's where you know what I mean. Like if I can explain how that I need you to make a song that makes the audience feel like this, or that when you're saying this, you're reaching this tone because you're going through this exact emotion, or because you're reaching this vocal cord, or that kind of thing, right? See, you can break it down and do it in a phenomenal way. I think you would be able to make it sound like it had the emotion.
But I do also think that the artists themselves, it's because the way that they convey it is because they wrote that and they feel what they're saying.
Yeah.
So they can convey that. So I won't say anything's impossible.
Yeah.
They'll try and figure out. But the thing is that I think it would probably be hard. Probably hard to the point where it's more work to get AI to do that than it is to do it yourself. Because you'd have to do it for every song. Yeah. Like, Kendrick changes his voice to get emotions across like 12 different times in one song sometimes. Yeah. Same with Pac and stuff like that. AI, I'd be surprised if they could do it now, but I'll never say never.
I'm just thinking about those folks who maybe, you know, like everyone got one in their family who can't sing a lick, but they got the emotions, they got the heart to sing. It just ain't gonna sound right. Yeah.
They need some auto-tune.
Give them the AI and let them explain how they feeling about singing the song, right?
Yeah.
That emotion might come through, right?
Possibly. We'll see.
But,
it's and some auto-tune and stuff. But that's where we're getting to the point where, like, supply and demand, the more we can do that, the more, because it's already to the point where anyone can get a song out to the masses. The more artists you have, the less valuable music is. Like, if everyone's doing it, like, then it's meaningless. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's too much out. It's oversaturated. You know what I mean? If everyone's a rapper, then who's supporting the rappers? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's one thing where like, oh, let's go to the Jay-Z concert. And like, you know what I mean? What if you're like, yo, there's a concert tonight. And then there's like, well, at this venue, this guy's playing. At this venue, this guy's playing. This venue, you know what I mean? Yeah. You're going to get it so that like you'll have 12 concerts in one night and like 10 people at each concert because everyone can't go to one thing. Like that's how music's going to be. Sales will definitely go down. Streams you'll have like a new song on the top 10 every day because it's
well, you can just see there's not even that buying it because you even look like when the hologram stuff was in for a while.
And then NFTs and stuff.
No, the hologramic performances. Remember, like
they did it with Pop. Did they do it with anyone else?
They tried to do it with a few other folks. I can't remember who they were, but I think they tried to do it like some tours and stuff like that. And I don't feel like it ever really took off like how they wanted it to. You know, just there wasn't that buy-in from the audience like there would be if there was a real person up there. Like, I feel like that's kind of some of the effect with AI within music and TV and film and stuff like that. It will reach a certain point that it's really cool that we can do this. Yeah, but it's not going to get that full buy-in of I'm going to sit here and watch like a full season of AI generated show.
Because we're already at the point where some rappers that are popular can't sell shows. You know what I mean? Like, was it Future that had to cancel? I know Lil Baby had to cancel his stuff. Like, because people don't connect to the music. It's a bop and they like it, but it's not like it's crazy that Method Man could probably sell more tickets to his show than Lil Baby when he was at the top of Lil Baby's career, because Meth has all the nostalgia people that grew up that are going to go, and because we come from an era of supporting these other younger people, their way of support is streaming and listen. So your streams can go way up.
Yeah.
But then when your concert comes, ain't nobody there.
Question for you. This is completely off the top of it, but I just want to talk. We're talking in the streaming era.
Yeah.
What do you think is the next era of music, like distribution?
Yeah. Listen to Elon Musk. He's wants chips in our head.
Yeah. The neuro chip or whatever it's called again.
Yeah. And would just be
Neuralink. You can get the Neuralink chip.
Yeah. They all got rid of physical copies. Now everything's digital. The only thing after that, it's going to be friggin', I guess, I was going to say mental. I guess there'd be one other stage before that, and that'd be like radio waves, where anything you want is just on a wave, and you can just pick it up wherever you go. Not even download it, just swipe.
You better say patent pending.
Like, it's crazy. Like, even, it's not even just music, guys. When's the last DVD you bought or Blu-ray?
Facts. And you find them in discount bins at the flea market and things like that, and grocery stores.
I remember when I had the Xbox, I bought the HD DVD drive because that's when DVD and Blu-ray were battling each other, right? And I was like, nah, HD DVD was supposed to have better quality. So I was like, yeah, they might win. They didn't. Yeah. Blu-ray won. But now Blu-ray's gone.
Yeah. Blu-ray, that went in and out fast.
Yeah.
Fast. Like soon as like a PlayStation had a Blu-ray thing, it was like Blu-rays were never like a thing again.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, VHS lasted way longer than Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
DVD had a nice run too.
Oh yeah, DVD still kind of get around in certain spots because they still you can find a flash screen, things like that with it.
Oh yeah, with the thing on the side to put it right. Yeah, but yeah, it's just technology is advancing very quick, man. Because right now, you go to the theater and then you stream. Those are the only two ways that anyone watches. Fake cable's on its way out too because everyone's just buying new cable. I know it's called streaming services, but soon every channel will have its own thing. You're paying for it's new cable. Oh, yeah. It's cable generation 2. They
yeah, it's exactly it, and it's like they're diving into the sports arena now.
Yeah,
I mean, football is going to start being on these streaming services. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It already is on like THM, but
wrestling,
like wrestling's coming in Netflix. I'm pretty
sure.
So
what we have boxing, wrestling, stand-up show, comedy has always been on there for years. Yeah. It's like, yeah. I wonder what cable companies are going to do.
Well, this is it, right? When you really look at it, like they're going to be in internet providing services from now on. That's what they're going to all have to shift to. But
because another thing, here's one, because I only have the internet.
Yeah,
they always try to sell you on a bundle with cable. I was like, I don't watch cable, and home phone. I did have a home phone when my son was up until he was like 14. So that, when he's home, he has a phone. Because I didn't trust a cell phone. You know how kids are, phones half dead all the time. So, but I don't have a home phone no more. And I'm like, I think my mom still has a home phone.
Oh, yeah, my mom does for sure.
But
same number since we were kids.
Same here, cuz. Same here. Same number since I was a kid. But that might be the last generation. Yeah. Like, I don't know if my older brother has a home phone. I know my sister doesn't. At least I don't think she does. She'll correct me. But yeah, once the generation of home phone things dies down, then that's a whole service that, it's only going to be businesses basically because offices are always going to need phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just times changing, man.
Well, it's wild because when you think about everything's in a cloud-based service, everything's streaming, whether it's music, internet services, whether it's the TV stuff you watch, whether you want to get information and research for a project, it's all on the internet. You have to access archive libraries for different major libraries that you wouldn't be able to access just from where you could do it from here in Nova Scotia and look into their online archive, Nova Scotia archive, look at historical documents, those kind of things. They're almost making that so internet is like one of the most important resources that we have as a society.
You know what? And even on another note, because I work in a government office, they're changing all their file systems to digital.
Yeah,
I think it's been a couple of years since we scan it and put it on the computers. Don't have the hard copies anymore. It's like even shit. I think even for jobs now, when my son was trying to apply to, I told him go with a resume. And no, they like you go online and apply. I was like, oh shoot.
You're like, see this QR code right here? Scan
that. Yeah.
It'll take you to the application.
Man, I think that they're setting us up for something.
Well,
because if it crashes,
that's a restart of everything. If it crashes and we lose access completely, are we now making this something that should be internet access should be free for everyone?
Apparently, that's what Elon Musk said he was working on.
Because if you're making it like the most important resource that you have to function in society, then I think we need to be able to make it so that every person in society is able to access that resource. But
the argument would be, why we pay a hydro bill for water?
Facts.
You know what I mean? That because if they put that across, he's like, well, water's kind of more important.
Yeah, that
should be free. And fortunately, we live in a capitalist society. They'll never do that. But
they make leaps. They've made leaps with it with doing like public access Wi-Fi in certain areas.
Yeah, in New York,
various businesses in certain areas, certain business districts. Even in Halifax, they have on some of the buses you can get Wi-Fi.
Oh, on the buses. I know in New York they have kiosks.
Yeah,
and you just log in, and then you got in most of Manhattan.
Yeah,
you're good. We'll see, man. But the thing is that you always got to think there's people that are going to fight it because that's a business. Yeah. That's like right now why I think in the government they're trying to get everybody, because a lot of people work from home, right? And it's crazy. There's tons of work from home jobs. I don't know why the public always seems to get mad at government employees working from home. Anyways, I digress. The government's trying to get them, even though the last time we went on strike, work from home was in our contract. They're trying to, I guess, renege that and get us to go back. And I think it's because of all the real estate that offices would be going, no one would be going there no more. I think that those people that own those buildings are trying to put a squeeze on it. Like, no, we need people to go back to the office so that, you guys will continue to pay for our building. Because, the government would be like, well, why are we paying for that? And on that note, I think that if someone was running a country, was a little smarter, they'd make all the jobs in the government that you could do from home, make them work from home, shut down those offices, and then that money that you were spending for rent on their offices, put that back into the country, rather than wasting office, money renting an office for somebody to just sit at a desk and do something they can do exactly at home. Like anyone that works at a call center, why? Yeah. You can work from a call center at home. I worked at a call center and I worked from home. It's perfect. You know what I mean? And there's less cars on the road if you do that. That's less pollution because there's less vehicles doing that. Man, it's just spending money. It's the people that own these people that are, counting on that rent from the government and counting on that rent from the call center that will push back.
2028, he's running for office here. Vote for my man. He got a plan.
Yeah. When you're because people always complain about our tax dollars, but if you look at a government as someone if you look at these government places or any places that are offices, that money to pay for the rent for those places are coming out of our taxes. That's just how the government gets revenue. So why? It's unneeded. But yeah, man. And imagine the quality of life.
Imagine the quality of life, yeah. If our society didn't run on money and people actually did the professions and hobbies and interests that they actually wanted to do rather than doing certain things just for financial gain. Like even just like programs that we had as a society, like we would have been everywhere. We would have probably already experienced this galaxy if countries band together instead of fighting over resource and things like that. Looked at one unity, one team as we move forward, right?
Yeah. And
those are hopes, and I ain't pushing no new world order stuff because there's a whole different layers behind that stuff. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm just saying if we didn't live in a society that was based off a form of currency,
if they cared more about the people than the money, but because like back to the working from home thing, imagine like that means that you don't have the morning or after work commute, so you get more time with your family. And they already did studies that people that work from home are more productive than people at the office. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're working from home, you're not at the water cooler talking about what happened on the weekend with your coworker. Mm-hmm. You're just at your desk doing your work. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're not getting stuck in traffic and might be late. Yeah. you work. If your kid has to come home sick, then you might just go pick them up, but you come back home and you can go right back to work. It's more productive. But I think we'll get there someday because a lot of businesses, like private businesses, are realizing that. Yeah. And because I know I have some friends that work from home full time.
How do you feel about the 4-day work week? I've been hearing some speculation about that. And like how it can actually boost morale and boost productivity within the workspace. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a good alternative. I do think. Excuse me, sorry, Pop's getting me. I do think if we had a society where non-essential, that means people that don't have to be in the office, but can work from home and get all their work from home. Yeah, do it. If they did that, I don't think that they would need the 4-day work week because I think that their morale would be up because it would. You're saying. It would even out. Yeah, like you're taking away a daily commute every day. For some people, they drive an hour to work.
Oh, I know.
That's an hour back home.
I was actually speaking to one of the youth that I work with and explaining that to me that they travel almost like an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half home.
That's 3 hours of travel
a day, unpaid work that you're doing.
Yes. Now, if that person works from home, that's 3 hours a day. What, 5 days? That's 15 hours extra of your life.
Yeah. And time you don't get back, folks.
And you want to know what's funny, crazy? Because I work from home part time. On the days I work from home, I even take shorter lunches. Yeah. Because, like, I'll be doing my work. I'll be in a thing. I'll look at the time. I'll go out and put my food in the microwave while it's heating up or while I'm preheating the oven or whatever. Come back down and still do work. Because what else am I going to do? I'm just telling you, man. Studies have shown that people that work from home are more productive than people that don't. Not knocking people that don't work from home. I'm just saying that you can get more done. Now, it can't work for everyone in society, of course. An electrician can't work from home. No. A plumber can't work from home. Like, you got to be logical. Yeah. But offices, and especially in Halifax, those offices could be converted into housing.
Yeah, that's definitely a need in the city. More housing options in the city.
It's in the country now. Yeah. Like it's going crazy, but yeah, definitely in Halifax. Man, imagine that. So yeah, the people that own those buildings, yeah, sure. If those guys start working from home, you won't keep getting the money from the government for the office space, but turn those offices in their apartments, and you could probably make more. Some of those buildings is big, and downtown too. The view that they would have. Shit. Anyways, man, that got weirdly political by mistake. I don't even know where we started.
Went off on one on that one.
That's who do we? I want to talk about this one because it was funny. Now Fat Joe got a new album coming out, right? Mm-hmm. Called "The World Changed Me." Yeah. No, "The World Changed on Me." Sorry, coming December 13th. I think that's a bad move, Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg is coming out that day. You should have.
Oh man.
You should have waited a week. You should have came out last week because nothing came out last week.
Did you hear some of the stuff that these guys were premiering on Drink Trans?
I think it's going to be the only album that's knocked me away from that Kendrick because Kendrick is getting better every time I listen to it, man. Yeah. Like Peekaboo and Hey Now used to be the only two songs I skip. Don't skip nothing now. Yeah. And him and SZA together, man, I can't wait for this.
That's a good combo.
Man, Okay, I'll get back to Fat Joe. Sorry, we got to go to Kendrick and SZA. They're going on the Grand National Tour next year. They're going to be in Toronto on June 12th and June 13th. And tonight, me and King Tigger was supposed to be talking about and coordinating getting tickets. Unfortunately, wasn't there. And I'm just now remembering. I'm gonna call him after we're done here because I want to go to one of those two shows. The ticket was $365. Not bad seatings.
Yeah.
Drive up.
There we go.
Yeah. Get a couple more guys. Go split on gas.
Yeah. Well, that's a big thing because what I was reading about that show was that if he sells that out, which he's expected to, he sold out the biggest place in Toronto
Before Drake.
He ain't even performed there.
I know.
So it's like, ugh.
I know. It's not an arena tour. It's a stadium tour.
Yeah. So that's a real insult to injury. And there was supposed to be something about it happening like on Father's Day or something like that.
I don't know. It's the 12th or 13th. I can't remember.
There's something about it falling on like American Father's Day or something like that.
But dope thing is that it definitely must be selling out because it's 2 dates now.
Oh yeah.
Man. But I want to go to that. And if the plans fall through and we don't go to that, I think I'm going to go to the St. Lunatics and Nelly show here in Halifax with Rule and Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, I'm interested in doing that.
It's on my birthday, cuz.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I know I can only I shouldn't say that. I don't know how much those tickets will be. If those tickets are
it's like $160 for two.
For two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on where you're going, depending on where you're sitting at. I was looking into it.
All right. Then I might be able to do both. Man, why did they have to announce this rate like 3 weeks before Christmas, man?
I know, right? I was like, what?
Man, like
you're hurting people's pockets. So
yeah,
we trying to survive through Christmas and then survive in January and February to recoup from Christmas.
Yes, you should announce this shit in March. That's when we're at least trying to get almost back where we was. But yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. Kendrick and SZA, a deadly combo, cuz they're the West Coast Meth and Mary.
Oh, that's facts. Yeah, they got some good songs together, man. Yeah, and they both got good standalone careers too. Where that one can walk off the stage and the other one can just carry it for a while.
Cause SZA's album was on the charts for like over a year.
Yeah,
songs been hitting like they were just new, and we're like, no, that's from my album a year ago. Oh, and she got a new album called Lana, Lana, and she says dropping before the end of this year.
Oh, okay.
So they're both going to have new material too. Yeah. I would not be surprised if Kendrick is on this album.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been thinking that he's going to drop something else, man.
Who, Kendrick?
Yeah,
me too.
A deluxe version of this album that's right out right now, probably. I heard something about him doing like having a deluxe version of which one is it again? Turn his TV off that has Lefty Gunplay on it.
Yeah,
like there's a deluxe version of that. And I think Lefty actually got a verse on it.
Okay.
And he's blowing up in LA right now. Like it's like honestly when we were looking at the LA influences that are out there right now, the coast is back hard.
Cause that's why it's this Boy Wonder, Drake's boy.
Yeah.
Mustard owed him for liking Not Like Us because Boy Wonder went and said, "Man, nobody wants to hear West. The only people that like West Coast rap is people from the West Coast. Nobody wants to hear that shit." Boy Wonder said that. So Mustard hit back with, "That's funny. You said this." Instead of posting tweets that he sent him, he's like, "That's good as fuck. That beat's hard as fuck. Not Like Us." And he's like, "Yeah, it's funny that you say that." First off, I gotta say, Boy Wonder, you crazy. Yeah. If you think that only the West Coast people listen to West Coast.
That's a whole running joke. You ain't seen the memes that everybody since this album came out thinks they're from the West Coast now? Yeah. Go on any of the platforms. You're going to see the videos of people walking around looking like they're trying to do the blood walk or the crip walk and start using the LA slang terms and that kind of stuff. That's all because of this recent Kendrick stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you got, like you said, SZA, you got Lefty Gunplay that's out there making waves, and then you got Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre like coming back, and
West Coast is going crazy.
Ice Cube just came out too.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget about
West Coast ruling everything. Because remember, Snoop Dogg is in the number 1% of players in Madden or not.
Let's talk about that.
On Xbox.
That's so wild when you think about all the stuff that Snoop Dogg does in the run of a day. It's like you got time to do all that too.
And the crazy thing is that it's hours played.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're in the 1% of people that play this game the most. That is crazy.
I feel like he takes that shit everywhere he goes. You pull up into a green room before he gets on the show, and he's
Playing
Madden. He's just bringing his system with him.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Like because he's like one of the most busiest people for entertainers that you ever hear about. He seems to be involved in everything, doing a little bit of everything.
Maybe that's on his runner. No drinks, no this, no Xbox, Madden. Probably doesn't even ask him Madden. He's like, just give me an Xbox. I'll log in with my profile. I got it all. Because he probably wants to keep his stats.
On his writer, eh?
Yeah. He probably wants to keep his stats, right? You don't want to just, if you're playing that much, you ain't just log. Oh, and yeah. You'd have to log in because it would track your hours.
Yeah,
so he has to log in with his own
bringing his system.
Yeah.
I mean, his system probably travels with him.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he'd have to be
first
on
I was
his own
thinking maybe
profile.
this is the family system, and the family might be playing underneath the Snoop Dogg name or something. But no, I can't see him doing that and bragging about it. You know what I mean?
Like I'm a gamer, probably not this much, but I'll know. And if I'm like this, he's definitely is. You don't let no one else log in under yours.
Oh, I know. I've experienced that from my buddies who are gamers. They're like, no, we don't do
you
that.
That's not my profile. You ain't getting a loss on my record. No, even if you win, you got to get them. You ain't getting no interception. No, you ain't messing with my stats at all. So yeah, that's Snoop doing all that. That's crazy. Man.
That's wild to think about. How much? Like, where you got the time, bro?
I don't know, man. Oh shit, we stepped all over Fat Joe. I was sorry, Fat Joe. Since we said he's coming out on the 13th and new all West Coast.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's called "The World Changed on Me," and the thing that I found funny is that he was in an interview because he lost another 100 pounds, and someone asked him, "Are you going to change your name because you're not?" You take the fat out, and he's like, it wouldn't make no sense. For years, I was Fat Joe.
Yeah.
When they announce, Fat Joe's coming to the stage, they know it's me. If they said just the rapper Joe, they wouldn't know who the hell it was. I'd have to rebrand everything, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Like even when Snoop Dogg did it, he only went from Snoop Doggy Dogg to Snoop Dogg. You still had the Snoop.
I tried Snoop line there for a bit, but
that's his reggae persona though. I think he still.
Does he still go by Snoop Lion somewhere down the line?
Yeah, when he puts out the reggae stuff, he still goes by Snoop Lion. And Bow Wow did it too, but he still kept the main of his name. But everyone couldn't do it. Like if Lil Wayne took out the Lil, it just Wayne. That just
he tried. Remember, he went to Wheezy.
See that sounds good. And Jeezy took out
Jeezy.
Young Jeezy. Now
yeah.
he's just Jeezy. Yeah. But Fat Joe, no, he can't be just Joe.
No,
There's a singer named
he's
Joe.
he's a New York legend too, right? He been out here doing this thing since he was a teenager.
Mm-hmm. All right, the last thing I want to announce before we get out of here is that Beyonce has been named the greatest pop star of the century by Billboard. Now, the century started in 2000.
Yeah. So
far, because a quarter century is done. That's crazy. A quarter century into the 21st century. And Beyonce's number one. Beat out Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift came in number 2.
Yeah, I heard that. Wasn't there something about the numbers or something like that? But it was like she wouldn't have Taylor Swift hasn't been out long enough to have the impact.
That's basically what they said. That Beyonce has way more, like they say, influence and impact. Like people hate on Taylor Swift, but when you hate on Beyonce, the Beehive comes out and you say sorry.
Yeah, people gotta remember Beyonce had a whole career as the lead of Destiny's Child, and Destiny's Child had its own cult following before they became the Beehive.
Yeah,
like a whole following.
Yeah.
So like she got that as well, and then she has the whole standalone career where she like just never missed.
Yeah, she's. Yeah, I'd say pop stars. She's.
I might not like some of the songs, or I might not feel that that's that way, but that's my personal opinion. The majority of the world is like she hasn't had a miss.
Right. Yep. Beyonce's still the name. She didn't fall off. You know what I mean? She
artists get awards and they thank her and say sorry that they won to her. What is going on here?
Yeah, she's the queen, man. Yeah, she deserves it. I can't think of, like, in recent times, people probably could put Taylor Swift, but I can see why she got 2. Because, yeah, Taylor Swift is 2 to Beyonce with pop.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, that's all we got for this episode. And we did get through everything. I didn't think that we were going to be able to cover every topic. If all 4 of us was there, I know we wouldn't. We'd probably still be up here arguing about Drake. Cool. All right. I'm John Kizzy. You know who is he? A.K.A. Philly G, because they know who I be. And I'm here with my cousin Ray Ray.
All right, take care, people.
And we out. Peace.